Vanderbilt is ranked. Um, that in itself is a pretty powerful opening statement. They are ranked 20th, and I think we all can agree that now they might be taken seriously going down the stretch. What a
Yeah.
win for the Vanderbilt football program, and what a way to do it. Arguably, probably one of their most profound, dominating wins in I think probably their program's history. Diego he was Diego. Obviously,
Yes.
he's a baller. He has that kind of Mayfield effect to him, and anytime he's on the field, Vanderbilt has a chance. Here's something I want to get out, and I just want to note immediately is mark your calendars for the Alabama Vandy game because Vanderbilt is going to be an undefeated football team going into Tuscaloosa. It is, I'm not going to say a sure thing because they did lose to Georgia State last year, um,
Yeah.
which would be very disappointing. And I think this team is significantly better than what they were last year.
Agreed.
It still renders the possibility. I mean, it is Vanderbilt football, so they play Georgia State, Utah State, and then Bama. Mark your calendars for that Bama game because if they're undefeated, there is a good chance that the Alabama Vanderbilt Commodores game is college game day.
Yeah, and I think that is going to be a game day that I would love to see. Um, I really like Diego. I love the way he plays. Not gonna sit here and say like he's, an a absolute stud, like the best quarterback in college football, but I definitely think he is a very good quarterback. He has the mentality to do it. The biggest issue I think with Diego is he turns the ball over here and
Oh,
there.
I was to say his mouth, but
Well, see, that's what I like about him. He's entertaining.
he is for
But
sure.
but no, I mean he has the interception, he had a fumble. So I mean there's some things there he's got to clean up, but also at the same time that's just how he plays football. Um but they looked really good, and with Sellers getting hurt in this game, I don't really want to take this away because they still scored 31 points against, in my opinion, one of the better defenses in college football. Um, he went 18 for 25, 177 yards passing and 24 yards rushing. Um, two touchdowns. He did have an absolute phenomenal block in this game that I think went really underrated, but it was him just going and trying his best to lay someone out. And I just think right there, I mean, with that, if you've got a quarterback that's willing to play like that, you definitely have a chance. He's really playing, he's giving it his all, and I think it shows on the field, and it's reflecting in their record right now. I'd love to see them go into that Bama game undefeated, and the same thing with Bama, and that be game day. Another thing interesting, and I don't know if it was a meme, I don't know if this is false information that I saw, but I saw that if Diego was talking to Theo Vaughn, because Theo was on the field, that
Ha
if
ha ha ha.
Die I don't know if you saw this or not, but that if Vandy beats South Carolina, Theo's going on a date with Diego's mom. I don't know how true that is. If it
Oh
is,
my
that's
gosh.
awesome. That's an awesome thing. That's hilarious, but that's Theo Vaughn doing Theo Vaughn things. So, but yeah, I'm really liking this Vandy team, and I'm really excited. I'm really hoping that they are undefeated going into that Bama game.
I'll tell you Vandy's worst nightmare and worst case scenario right out of the gate for that Bama
Hmm.
game. Vanderbilt is rooting for Alabama to beat Georgia because if
Oh
Alabama
yeah.
loses to Georgia, Vanderbilt is going to play a very, very upset, angry, and desperate Alabama team. And in my opinion, that's the worst case scenario for Diego and Vandy. You do not want to be playing a desperate Alabama team. And honestly, that's kind of the case that Georgia finds themselves in 2 weeks. So they're going to be playing a desperate Alabama team. So it'll be very interesting that game. Not the sidetrack here, but both teams will be coming off of a bye. Like Alabama's next opponent is Georgia. Georgia's next opponent is Alabama. So they both have 2 weeks to prepare, and then it's Vandy. So if regarding the outcome, if Alabama wins that game, that's the best case scenario for Vandy because Alabama is going to be having all that confidence in the world, maybe thinking a little too high of themselves after charging into Athens and winning, and then that's whenever Diego strikes, and that's whenever he's the most lethal in that Vanderbilt team, is whenever a team is overlooking the Vanderbilt Commodores and thinking that, I mean, I don't think anybody thinks anymore that Vandy doesn't have a team, but they might be overlooking Vandy in the terms of, you know, looking ahead at Tennessee and looking ahead at Oklahoma and LSU, circling
Hmm.
games down the stretch. And like I said, coming off that big win in Athens would be the perfect time for Diego and the Commodores to strike.
Yeah, absolutely. Time will tell, but it's gonna be a very very interesting matchup. Regardless, even if Alabama doesn't, you know what I mean, they're not undefeated, or Vandy drops a game here, it's still gonna be a very entertaining matchup just because of the
Yeah,
relationship between Diego and Bama. So I really can't wait for it.
yeah, no doubt.